I believe very strongly, believed with Steve Jobs that this was the future of the world. This was the future of Apple, future of computing. We're taking them to a better place, and they'd never come back. We'd come up with this new idea of the GUI computer to the masses, and our Lisa was too expensive, and the Macintosh was a group started by Jeff Raskin. Jeff Raskin brought the humanness of computers into Apple, the idea that you should call a screen a desktop because humans know the word desktop. They use desktops in their real life. That was the guy, and he headed it. Well, I had a few favorite friends in Apple, and I don't form normal friends, the mainstream normal people that you know. No, I like crazy, eccentric people. I like the people that have brilliant artistic minds. I like the ones who think for themselves and contradict the established reality. All those people, somehow, the ones that couldn't get a job elsewhere in Apple, couldn't satisfy a manager very well, were all grabbed by Jeff Raskin on this Macintosh product. And they were, in my mind, they were the best engineers we had. Burl Smith, he was a designer that learned to hook chips together. He studied my designs. He wanted to be like me. And he learned to never waste things and use things in the most unusual ways to get double the use out of the chips. And he was the chip designer, and he was the best we had. Andy Hertzfeld, the software that he could write, and he had this mind that liked to speak about, philosophical things and Bob Dylan and music and, follow all these interesting things in life. And yet he was also great about computers, and he was excited about this new GUI technology. Bill Atkinson, who was an artist at getting code perfect, every single line had to make sense and no wasted lines, and he was doing the graphics. And Jeff Raskin himself, and I loved that group. It was all my favorite people were there. Steve's approach on the early Macintosh was, let's do what was successful with the Apple II. You do a computer. Here's one that Xerox is making for $50,000. You do it, and you get your best people at reducing the amount of hardware, reducing the amount of software, reusing things in certain ways, so you can get the cost down to where it's affordable. Like $1,000 or $2,000, normal people prices. The core of the operating system was written around how to draw graphics, icons, how to draw pictures of things like cursors, how to make things move on the screen. So the heart of even like video games, the fun computing of what we're used to, the heart of this cartoon-like world was built at the very basis of the operating system. So everything from there on could handle graphics well. And the only thing the Mac didn't do well in that regard was color. And that's largely because we didn't know it, but Bill Atkinson, the graphics designer, was colorblind. This technology, though, was adapted to last 25 years. The mouse, the menus, the windows, the cursors, and little animations to last 25 years and being able to pull in the types of jobs we do now. Everything, the internet came along. This technology adapted to the internet use. Maybe it defined the way we use the internet, partly because it was so much the way to use computers. The first Macintosh was like the Model T, and the Macintosh, even 25 years later, you can see the resemblance to it. Sure, one is a little bit cruder and simpler, and the other's got all this little finer sophistication around it, and we know the reasons for that. But 20 years from now, we'll look at a Macintosh and say, yeah, well, pretty much I understand. I see the similarities to that original Model T, what it did. So, yeah, I'd say it fulfilled, it lived up to what we thought it would be.